This episode of the Out of the Cave podcast is brought to you by Crown Trophy of Cypress, California. Crown Trophy is your one-stop shop for trophies, medals, crystals, rings, and any type of promotional item. They also have the ability to customize your award or promotional item with your logo. See why they're celebrating 25 years of outstanding customer service. Contact Crown Trophy of Cypress for your next awards order and mention the Out of the Cave podcast to receive 10% off your order. You can find their contact information listed in the sponsor section of our website, outofthecavepodcast.com. And now, enjoy the show.
You're listening to the Out of the Cave podcast with your host, Junior and the Captain. This is a podcast where we talk about things going on in the world and share opinions without worrying about political correctness. Remember, it's all about respect, keeping an open mind, and always having a good time. My man, Junior.
Captain, welcome back.
What is up, man? As you can see, I'm almost at a loss for words.
You had a loss for words.
Well, you got to excuse my teary eyes. My Bills won! Yeah, boy! Can you believe that shit, bro? Yo, I was crying, man. I was crying.
I know there's a lot of, and I notice there's a lot of bandwagon people now.
But you see now how it is. You know, it's actually funny, man. This is not the way I wanted to start the show, but you know what? Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. We have to celebrate. Go Bills Mafia. Go Buffalo Bills. We did it. Now we got to keep going. We got to keep moving on. It's going to get harder, but we got to do it. No, what I was going to say was that what's funny is that in the previous years, you know, you would go onto like the NFL shops or, you know, any Amazon, any of the stores, and you would look for Buffalo Bills stuff, and it's always readily available. But you couldn't find Patriot stuff. You can find, you know, Green Bay Packers has always been a popular team, Pittsburgh Steelers, but Buffalo stuff, you could always find it. So yesterday, after they won the playoff game, my son says, "Oh, Dad, I want that hat that Josh Allen is wearing." It was a beanie, right? It was a winter beanie.
Yep, beanies.
So I said, "All right, man, let me see if I can find it." Yo, I went everywhere and it was sold out. It was sold out everywhere. I couldn't find it, right? But then I got an email from another company that I guess I bought something in the past, and they had the hat. So I jumped on it right away and I bought it. But then I think NFL shops sent out the same thing, it was almost similar type of email, and I went and clicked on it, and it was all sold out. So they had that same product, but it was sold out for it. But it was not just for Buffalo, but it was sold out for pretty much the teams that made the playoffs.
Right.
But, bro, I'm telling you, man, now everybody's jumping on a bandwagon, just like what you said, man.
I know.
Everybody's like, Buffalo!
Now all of a sudden, everyone's a Buffalo fan, and they all know all about them. And
Exactly.
meanwhile, no one's talking about them.
And they don't know what we went through, man, with the 4 straight Super Bowls and all that stuff. They don't know nothing about that. Then again, I mean, also, there's so many young kids out there. They weren't even around when that stuff happened, man. You know what I mean? So, but I'm proud to say that I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, proud member of Bills Mafia, and I am so happy and ecstatic that my Buffalo Bills are back in the playoffs, and that at least they already won their first playoff game.
Yeah, I think some good news, right? Starting 2021 with some good news there from the sports front, and we should say this is the Out of the Cave podcast. The captain was obviously very excited and needed to share his
I had to, man.
Buffalo Bills news. But this is the Out of the Cave podcast with your hosts, Junior and the captain. This is actually season 2, the first episode of our second season.
Wow. Can you believe that?
Yeah, no, I know. It's crazy.
Man, season 2, shit.
And we actually weren't even going to have this episode produced this week. We were going to take another week off and just relax.
Just take our time.
But
ease into it.
But man, this week was I said my New Year's resolution is to stop saying crazy.
Yeah.
So this was a fucked up week. This was a fucked up week.
Oh, man. You know, you just never know, man. You never know. That's the beauty of life, is that things just, you know, nothing's ever the same. But, man, oh, man. The things that happen, bro, it's just amazing.
Yeah, so let's break it down. So obviously we're referencing the protests that happened at the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday, as Congress was wrapping up the Electoral College vote
or certifying,
and so all these protesters who were pro-Trump protesters actually stormed the Capitol, so to speak, and they actually were able to reach the Senate floor, and in some cases, senators' offices. It was definitely a chaotic type of scene in many respects. Unfortunately, one protester was shot. A Capitol police officer was also died because of injuries.
Yeah, it was 5 people so far that I know.
5 altogether, right?
Yeah.
So when you think about that, there was some loss of life here, which was really sad. But it didn't take long for the media and politicians to jump into this and start politicizing it. I mean, I guess it did start political, but I think what I found interesting was the reaction from politicians and people in general over this riot versus the stuff that was happening in the summer.
That was summertime, yeah.
First of all, you didn't hear anyone now talking about defund the police.
Exactly.
Right? Now no one's talking about, these politicians aren't talking about defund the police. And I don't agree with violent protests. I know some people did. And I remember in the summer, there were plenty of people saying, oh, sometimes you got to get violent to kind of get your point across, right? But here's what I thought was different. And again, I'm not in favor of it. But what I did notice, and which did, stand out to me, was when you take the riot to the politicians and you're not burning some neighborhood down, they get the point.
Exactly.
They get the point, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to be very interested to hear about who's saying defund the police and all that kind of stuff, because when this stuff was happening, guess who they were running to?
They were cowering, man.
They were cowering, but they were hoping that the police were going to come.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's sad how it went down. And I definitely want to hear what you think about this, but it's sad how it went down in the sense that, again, people were hurt. But at least it wasn't like, people in like, cities getting burned, businesses and stuff burning down, people losing their livelihoods and people getting hurt. In this case, I hope the politicians got the message because, again, I'm 100% against violence and that kind of thing.
No, I mean,
but they need to wake up and say, why? And I know people were blaming Trump, saying that he incited it. And his words were somewhat inflammatory, whatever. But they need to think about, and this is where I think it gets challenging, because the people who are on the Democratic side of the House, they only see things from their point of view.
Yeah.
And they have to stop and say, why are these, 70 million people, half the country, why are they upset?
Yeah.
What is driving it? Instead of it just being, we hate Trump, they don't look and say, hey, what, man, half my constituency is like pissed. So pissed that they came in and they're sitting in my office.
Listen, I've obviously I've been reading people's comments and just like you said, they have the amnesia of everything that happened during the summertime, and notice how during those days the Democrats on that side, no one was against burning people's down, their businesses, their homes, whether people get hurt or whatever. All I kept hearing was, it's only property, they have insurance, it's going to be covered or whatever, right? They occupy a certain part of, what was that, in Seattle, right?
Seattle.
In Seattle, they occupy, nobody has a problem with that. All kinds of things were going on, and now everybody has a problem with, this group of people going into the Capitol. Now, again, I don't condone on that stuff, and obviously you and I weren't there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we've been saying this from day one. We have our jobs, we have a family. I have, my particular feelings in regards to, things that are going on in the country and just how I feel, how I was raised and, my religion and all that. And that's just, for all of us, we all have that. But I'm not going out there to protest, whether it be for the right, for the left. I'm not protesting nothing. I'm going to tell you why. One, because the odds are someone's going to get hurt. I don't want to be the one that's going to get hurt. Not that I'm, chicken shit or anything like that. It's just, it's just not reasonable for me to go out somewhere and, with the intention of maybe having, getting hurt for some particular reason, right? 2 is, who has the time for that when I got to put food on the table? You know what I mean? I again, I'm not maybe in the same position or situation as other people, and I'm speaking from the heart. I have to put food on the table. I just do not have time to go and partake in protests and all that. And, if I have to support somebody, maybe financially, I can, do a little something like that, or maybe, whatever, sign a petition or whatever. to that extent. But as far as to go and lose a day of work, and I can't afford to do that, you know. But with that being said, I think people are actually looking at this in a very, very wrong way, man. And I'm talking about everybody in general. I'm talking about politicians. I'm talking about the media. I'm talking about friends, family, everybody that I hear or I see, making comments on Facebook and all these other platforms. I think everybody is so emotional that they're not really looking at the big picture that I see. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, if you don't feel the same way or if you don't see the things that I see and maybe you think that it's nonsense. The big picture is this. You have 75 million people that voted for Trump, right? Many of those people, pissed off that they feel that the election was taken from them. So you see also those 75 million people throughout the summer are watching their businesses getting burned down, watching people do whatever the fuck they want to do without politicians on that side, seeing anything wrong with it, the police not being respected, the police is the enemy in that particular case. And now fast forward to what's happening today, right? You got a group of or an organization of people that storm the Capitol. Now, when you go look at the big picture, these people that stormed the Capitol, obviously this was an organized thing. It's not like they just said, hey, you know what, let's just go do it. This was organized. And it was organized, and again, I'm not taking sides because I'm on nobody's side. I choose to be on the side of nobody ever getting hurt and doing anything stupid or anything like that. But strategically, I think this was a beautiful plan that they created. And this is why I say this. So you have all these organizations, all these groups during the summertime that are burning people's, houses down and businesses and all that and getting away with it, really, to be honest with you. Nothing's going to happen. You had Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, right, supporting the fund so that this way they can bail out the people that are destroying those, all these places. And again, she's over there saying because it's only property, what's the big deal, whatever, right? So nobody has a problem with that. But these people that went in there, one, like I said, they were organized. They knew what the hell they were doing. People, obviously got killed. I'm telling you right now that these people knew that going in. So, I mean, you could feel sorry for them. And listen, I don't want anybody to think that I condone, people getting injured or anything like that. But these people that went in there, they knew that there was a risk that somebody was going to get hurt to that extreme that somebody got killed.
Yeah, of course.
Now, why do I say that? Why? Because, one, you're going into the Capitol, a federal building.
Yeah,
right?
That's government property.
Right? Then you got federal agents that are protecting that property. Those guys they're not like regular cops where they're like, what do I do? No, they're going to protect that property, especially since there's government workers, meaning like senators, congressmen that are in there that they swore to protect, right? So if anybody's going to come in like that, they're going to. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to start just shooting everybody down because, as you saw, they didn't. Some people did, and obviously that first girl that got shot, she lost her life. But you saw, I mean, it wasn't thousands of people that died or anything like that, right? But those people that were going into the Capitol building, they knew that there could be a slight chance that some shit like that might happen. Now, when they went in there, what did they do? They broke glass. They, whatever. They threw paper around and stuff like that. But what was the difference? The difference was they weren't tearing down paintings. They weren't burning down the Capitol. They did what they did. They ran amok and all that stuff. And ultimately, somebody said, yo, you guys got to get the hell out of here. They got on the floor, and it was the cops with guns. They got on the floor. They put their hands behind their back. They got arrested. The rest of the people fucking fled. And that was it. That was it, man. They didn't destroy anything, right? What I'm trying to say here is this, that these people went in there to prove a point. And the point is this. That group went in there unarmed. They caused havoc being unarmed. They didn't go in there, shooting at senators, congressmen. They put a hell of a scare at them. And all those congressmen and senators that talk so much shit or whatever, like I said earlier, they cowered down. Now, how come they're not fucking taking up arms? Why are they throwing the cops and all those other security personnel in front of them? How come they didn't, all of them cowered? Just because you're a congressman and senator, that don't mean you can't fight back. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to cower behind everybody and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, so one I got to say is fuck those people. And that's the people that these sworn police officers are sworn to protect and all that. And that's fucked up that they just cowered too. Why don't, yeah, you'll help them out. They saw that they were, overmatched. And what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, why didn't they go out and talk to the protesters?
Exactly. Why didn't they go out there? Why didn't, help out? Shit, what the fuck, man?
Why didn't they bring some social workers with them to help?
Yeah, exactly. So the point basically is this, man. And I know I'm going on forever on this thing, but these people proved that they could get into a federal building such as the Capitol. Now, why the Capitol? Because the Capitol is a world-known building here in the United States. It's not in a small town in Seattle or a small town in Wisconsin or a small place where whatever. No one's going to remember after a while. But everybody's going to remember the Capitol. And so these people went there with that intention to show everybody that, hey, listen, you guys keep ignoring us. There were 75 million people that voted for President Trump. And all you guys are doing is just talking shit about him and about us. And they went in there to prove a point that, you know what? We matter. We got in here. No one was able to stop us. And this is the worst part about it. The worst part is that those people that went in there, and I'm telling you right now, man, I don't know none of these people, but I can guarantee you this. I guarantee you that huge group that was there have access to weapons, have access to military training, to all kinds of stuff. They do. And so the point that I'm trying to make is that they went in there to prove that, hey, continue doing the shit that you're doing, continue disregarding the other half of the country, and the next time that we do this shit, it ain't gonna just be going through a couple of doors and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Next time they're gonna be coming in hard, man. And I'm telling you, they're gonna do damage, man. And that's the whole thing. I think that their plan was just to be recognized and to do something like that. It's fucked up the way it happened, but
I hope that they don't do that again, because there were people who were saying this is destroying democracy, and I agree it's not something that people should be doing. However, to your point, I think it's from a point of symbolism, they wanted to make their point stand out and get heard, and they certainly did that. And again, this rioting not happening in city streets and happening there, I think they brought the message right to those politicians. Will the politicians hear it? I don't know. I remember there was a quote that's often attributed to Martin Luther King, essentially talking about rioting, saying that riots don't develop out of thin air, and that there's certain conditions that have to be in place or that are existing in society that they have to be condemned very, very hard. And the way that you do it is through riots. Now, when Dr. King said that was in the 60s, and he was talking about the issues that African Americans were dealing with at the time, and the social injustice, civil rights, all that stuff. And it made sense. But the point that he said was that it is because people are not being heard. In this case, it's those 75 million Americans who are not being heard. Right or wrong, there's a segment of the population that is being ignored. And I think when I listen to the politicians, including President-elect Joe Biden, they say this is a time for unity. This is a time for us to heal.
Yeah.
But what they really mean is this is a time for you guys to shut the F up and just do what we say and follow what we say.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I heard Biden say, which really upset me, was that if the rioters had been black, it would have been a different situation.
Yeah. Meanwhile, during the summertime, the majority were, and nothing happened to them. So how is it any different?
Well, not only that, the rioters in the summertime, they were white. If you looked at the front of the line, it was a bunch of white people, usually who were in there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a mixture of people.
No, but like the front line was a bunch of white ladies, bro.
But listen, man, who's gonna go out there and say, but if it would have been this, if it would have been, who the hell? A politician's going to say, if this, if that, if this, if that. Are you out of your mind? How about talking about facts, man?
But that's an insult to the law enforcement officers.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
So he's saying that all those law enforcement officers were racist and they would have shot a black crowd of protesters.
Yeah, a black crowd of protesters, and not them, yeah.
How messed up is that?
That's what I'm saying. It's like you can't win, man. Like again, if you have a Republican or conservative people there, then it's vice versa. Remember, we've been saying this forever, that we just can't win. Like everybody is so confused because all these politicians, I don't care what side you're on, have so many people confused about what the hell's going on, whether it be with the COVID, whether it be with this thing, with the race relations, with all that. Everybody's damn confused because it's all about what they want for themselves, and that's it. They could care less about anybody. And anybody that out there is listening to us, if you actually think that Biden and Harris and all them are going to be looking out for everybody, and even you are full of shit. And you guys, I don't know what the hell you're listening to, but nobody, politicians, nobody cares about us, the regular people. They just don't, man. And I mean, no matter which way you look at it, nobody cares. And it's sad for me to be saying that. It really is. But I see things, again, you and I, both being Latino, minorities, right? We've always looked at positives in everything, right? Like, it doesn't matter who's in the White House or whatever. We just like, hey, you know what? We make do with what they're giving us, right? We make it happen. We have families. We go take care of our own. If we can help other people out, we do it. And that's it. But every single time that we think that way, and every time that we've discussed things like this, we always seem to be getting the short end of the stick, man. It always seems that way,
true.
right?
It's true.
I was just like, it doesn't matter who's in office. We get the short end of the stick. And so how are we supposed to be supporting either one of these parties? I mean, it's just crazy, man. I just don't get it, man. But again, them playing politics right off the bat, if it would have been them, if it would have been this, are you really kidding me?
How is that helpful in the least bit?
And then on top of that, you want those same people that you're saying that if they would have been, the cops would have done this. They're the ones that are protecting your stupid ass, man. I mean, come on. What the fuck?
Exactly.
I don't get it, man.
But now, when the rioting and stuff happened in the neighborhoods of the different cities of the country, everyone's saying defund the police. I haven't heard anyone say defund the police now.
Yeah.
If anything, they're probably going to get more. Now they're going to put up gates, more armed guards. They're going to make sure they're going to be, funding these guys as much as they need to.
I guess, right?
Now they will, because now it happens in their backyard, in their house. Now they're going to make things happen.
With comments like that, again, once the election was over, right? We were discussing how, did Trump get cheated? I don't know, we can't prove it, right? But somehow, for a person like Biden, who didn't campaign, to get more votes than Barack Obama, who did, and who was like the first African-American president to get more votes than him. I'm not even talking about the Trump thing. But when you compare the amount of votes that he got over Obama, yeah, I don't think so, man. There's something fishy there.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
It does make sense, because there was never that much excitement for him. It felt like, and like you said, he never left the house. It does seem questionable.
Yeah, man, it's fishy.
But here's the thing, like, just really quick, with Trump, in his that last speech and the last rally, and I even heard like Giuliani and Donald Jr., they were definitely like saying like phrases and things that to hype up the crowd that were stupid. And I feel like at this point, at this time, it was definitely the time to just kind of back away, and whatever the good things were that you did, she should have been more focused on that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And
talking about, I do think warp speed is why we're getting this vaccine out right now, even though it's taking forever to get all the doses out to people, because the states don't know what they're doing. Most of them, I should say.
Well, New York definitely does.
But Trump, I think he missed an opportunity, if he had any kind of a legacy, to shore it up and be like, hey, guys, look, let's talk about what I did. I did this. I kept all my promises, whatever. And you know what? The election results are what they were. We tried to fight it. We did our best. Time's come for us to, think about the next election cycle.
Exactly.
Work with your, in your local state and government, elections, and get involved with your communities. Like, that's the message that should have been sent out, not like amping up the crowd. Now, I don't know that his words definitely amped up the crowd enough to go to the Capitol, because I think they were planning on doing that no matter what.
Yeah. Because everybody knew. Right?
I think he missed a chance to cement whatever kind of a legacy he was going to cement. I think he missed that chance. And now you can just kind of see how everyone's dogpiling on him, because now they're saying, oh, let's impeach the guy again. That's the first thing. People still don't have vaccines. People still don't have jobs. People don't have money in many places. They're still hurting from this pandemic. The first thing the Democrats and people are talking about, oh, we got to go back to impeach. You just spent 3.5 years trying to do that already.
Yeah.
And you're jumping right back to it. So it just goes to show you, like, they only care about themselves. They don't care about the American people and what's really important.
Yeah, yeah.
They're immediately trying to impeach him. And now what happened?
The Twitter, right?
Trump is now banned from Facebook,
from Twitter, from all that, right?
That's a scary ass thing.
Yeah, man.
I don't care. Look, I don't care about Trump, and in the sense that this isn't about him. This is about the power of social media.
Yeah.
That if you think about it,
listen,
if you have an opposing view from
anything
from anyone
other than theirs,
they can just delete you.
Yeah.
And then they silence your voice.
Yeah.
What's worse, because people say, well, they're a private company. They can do whatever they want. Okay, I agree with that. They can definitely do it. But they have so much power and size that if someone wanted to start their own company, like Parler, they can still crush you.
Yeah.
How is that not antitrust? How is that not like a monopoly?
Yeah. And how are the congressmen and senators and all that allowing that to happen? You see?
Because it's on their side right now.
Because, like I just said, we've been, and I mean we the country. I don't care who you support. You, me, everybody has been bamboozled by all these people, man. I'm telling you. And nobody cares about the little guy. I sure as hell know that they don't care about small business. They sure as hell don't do that, man. Because look how many businesses, when they were giving out that money, look how many huge business corporations are getting all that money, and small businesses aren't getting anything.
Yeah.
And they're fighting, and they're making them go through filling out this form and that form and this form.
Yeah, and they're giving them like fines and like crippling them.
Yeah, crippling them. I mean, come on, man, really? And I apologize for starting off this first season of this podcast in such a negative way in that sense. Obviously, my Bills won, so I'm still happy about that.
No, but we even said it like after the election. We were like, hey, we're not going to be like dogpiling on.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like we
Dude, there's no reason for that.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that. Because, look, all right, guess what? Joe Biden, he's going to be the new president. End of story. You're going to worry now about impeaching somebody within the next 10 days before they leave? Are you out of your mind? It's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. Like you said, we don't even have these vaccines.
Yep. They should be worried about that.
Yeah. And I mean, because I could have sworn that during the campaign, the vaccine and this virus was like number one on everybody's mind. And that's all they were worried about. The vaccine. Now I don't hear the vaccine no more. All I hear is impeach Donald Trump. Now, how is that going to help anybody out there, man?
It doesn't.
It's ridiculous, man. I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. And I'm hoping that whoever listens to us outside of the country and just, I think, in all honesty, we are coming from voice of reason, man. I really do believe, man. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, I guess.
No, I think we are.
Come from voice of reason because we've been fair to everybody. We don't. I'm not gonna take anybody down. I'm not. That's not what I'm trying to do. That's not what I am. That's not. Well, we spoke about this before. That's not what we do, man. We're all about positivity and having a good time and enjoying ourselves and all that. But the way things are going, I think that the politicians that are in power now are just going to create havoc. I mean, let's just remember what was going on with Donald Trump being president. You got congressmen, senators, regular people couldn't dine in peace, couldn't go to a restaurant without people coming to them and doing. Don't think that if you guys continue doing that stupid shit the way you're doing it and all this stuff, don't think that those 75 million people that voted for Donald Trump, don't think that a group of those people, and that's a lot of people, aren't going to do the same shit to them.
Yeah. I mean, look, I hope not because I'm not a fan of that at all.
Yeah, no, neither am I. I mean, we spoke about it, but
I hate that.
But I'm telling you,
but you're right. But because they don't, because the leaders in power aren't doing anything to pacify or fix the situation, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. So to your point, now maybe it'll be the other side doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, man. Like if they don't start just like Biden said, trying to heal and come together with it. If you don't start doing that immediately, I'm telling you right now, he's not going to last as a president. Because I'll tell you what, man, they're going to make his life so miserable. That guy's going to die of a fucking heart attack, man. I'm telling you, man, there's just no way, man. There's just no way that I don't see this country getting ahead, succeeding if this stuff doesn't. And again, it's not an easy thing to do. It really isn't, man. I mean, think about it. But somebody's got to step up to the plate, man, and they have to figure something out, man, because I'm telling you, we as a general people, we've been bamboozled by big business, by all these social media companies, by the politicians. We've been bamboozled, man.
Yeah, and the news media doesn't help either because it doesn't seem like they're impartial at all.
No,
they're not even news. They're like us, or like people who just like do opinions. Like they don't even like just report facts and let people think about it and kind of, make a decision on their own. They are so biased, the media. And I could see like someone living in a small town someplace, there's not a lot of options for them to get information.
Yeah.
Right? To be able to make a decision. But at the end of the day, if you take away social media, because social media is not real.
No, exactly.
It's not a real thing. What's real is when you step outside the door, when you're looking at your family, whatever you do, that's the real thing. But people get if you just imagine how we look through the eyes of our pets, your pet is seeing you look at something in your hands, and it's changing and altering your mood either up or down. And your pet has no clue what is this mystery device that you're looking at that's affecting you that way, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. But if you just like cut off your social media, your life is not really different, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they let social media influence them.
Yeah.
And we spoke about that from that movie, The Social Dilemma.
Yeah.
I think everyone needs to see that stuff because this is scary stuff. I mean, Orson Welles wrote that book in 1984, and I know that the story was kind of meant to be almost like, against Stalin, that kind of regime. But we're not that far off. We're not that far off because I feel like if you have an opposing view, you're going to get creamed. They're going to cancel you, whatever it is. If you are against, you have a different view from those of like Jack Dorsey and Zuckerberg and those guys.
Yeah.
They can control everything. Yeah. And we, the people, are giving them the control.
Yeah. Even again, I just read right prior to us getting on here, Bezos from Amazon. He's another one that took that Parler platform out of the Amazon or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So he's another one that's part of all that, and ultimately it comes down to everybody just getting rid of it, unsubscribe from, their Prime and all that. And again, so everybody's been bamboozled to think that you need to have Prime and that you need to have Twitter and that you need to, have all this stuff. And I think ultimately it's going to come down to everybody just signing off, signing out, and saying, you know what, I don't need this stuff. And hopefully maybe down the line, regroup and, do something different. But don't sign off of our show. Well, that's it.
Keep downloading our show. That's the only thing,
right? But no, it's just not. But I mean, we're coming here trying to speak the truth, man. We're not. Same thing with us.
No, because you can't even you can't have a conversation like you and I. We have good conversations. We don't always agree on everything. We go back and forth. But if you try to have a conversation with I'm an independent, so I'm not left. I'm not right.
Yeah.
You try to have a conversation with someone who is like pro Biden, a Democrat. Oh my God! I swear they say that people who are Republicans and follow Trump, they say those guys are cults. They seem like they're freaking loony.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they have amnesia. That 1 minute they say one thing, the next minute they say a different thing, and it's like they don't even recognize the way that they flip flop. It's really bad.
And ultimately it comes down to this, because they really don't know a damn thing other than to listen to what other people are saying, and that's it. Like they won't investigate or really read into something to say, wait a minute. That doesn't sound right,
No, but some of them are, and some of them are smart, and I feel like they look down on other people because, let's say the average American doesn't have like a master's degree or doctorate or whatever.
Yeah.
And I find like these people, they study, and they try to make you feel stupid by throwing a bunch of facts and figures and blah, blah, and they try to make you feel stupid, and they feel like, oh, I'm better than you. And meanwhile, they are saying that they're trying to fight against that kind of stuff, right? Against like oppressiveness and stuff, but they're like the number one people who are trying to tell you that you're wrong, and if you don't agree with them, you're stupid. That's the other thing. Well, they can't even have a conversation without insulting you.
No, but I'm not even talking about that group. I'm talking about the followers. That's why like in the on the other hand, like the so-called conservatives and the Trump followers and all that, they call these people sheep, right? You've heard that before, right? The sheep, right? That they just follow blindly, man. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those people that they'll come up and they'll say all this stuff, but they really don't even know what the fuck is going on, man. They just don't know. All they know is what somebody just told them.
Yeah. What they just read from a tweet.
Exactly. So, like with me, anytime that I hear things, I always take a step back, man. I take a step back and say, damn, that's interesting. Oh, damn, that's messed up or whatever. Let me take a step back and let me read into that to make sure. How many times have we gone on the air over here doing this podcast where where we are making mistakes or basically saying, I really don't even know. Listen, this is what it is. I really don't know. Like, if I don't know, I'm going to go research and I'm going to try to find out the truth. But I'm not going to just because you said it, I'm going to say, oh, my God, that's the law, that's the truth, and that's it, and the story. Nah, I still have to somehow be intelligent enough to say, let me look into that before I actually give you my opinion, right? Or I can give you my opinion based on that information. And then when I get other information, then I can say, you know what? I was wrong about the way I said that, this and that or whatever. But nobody is willing to do that now.
They're too lazy.
It's too lazy, man. They just, whatever other people say, that's exactly what they're saying. And that's gospel, and that's it. And the story. I mean, this is a little bit different than that, but the new Congress, right? They just got sworn in or whatever. And I believe he's a pastor. I don't know, reverend. Somebody gave the opening prayer. And this guy
that was Representative Emmanuel Cleaver. He's a Democrat.
Okay, so he's doing the opening prayer, and at the end of the prayer, he says "Amen," right? And then after that, he says "a woman" too.
Right.
Like "Amen" has nothing to do with a man or a woman. Has nothing to do with that. Amen means so let it be, right? So let's agree. That's basically what "Amen" means. It means, that's what this is. What we an agreement. Has nothing to do with men or women. And this knucklehead, and this is where I say that we've been bamboozled, because all these people who we think are the educated people, the ones that are supposed to be leading us, the ones, whether it be in politics or whether it be in religion and church, we're listening to people like that. He's going to come out and say a woman.
Yeah, and
really?
I heard him try to defend it in an interview, and essentially he was saying,
you can't defend it.
No, but what he was trying to say was, look, I was talking to everyone. Like, I wasn't trying to be divisive. I was just saying it. And I was like, but just saying it shows that you're trying to make a point.
Correct. But amen, the word amen has nothing to do with it. Why would you say that?
It's an ancient Hebrew word.
Listen, if you're going to do that, if that's the case, any word that you find in the dictionary that has MEN in it, you would then have to go and put a WO in front of every single one of those words and create new words. I mean, think about it. There is no reason why he should have said a woman, because it has nothing to do with men or women.
Right. And just so amen is a Hebrew word that means like certainty or truth.
Yeah. So it be. So let it be.
Exactly. Let it be. So it has nothing to do with man.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That goes to show you the stupidity of people, and it also goes to show you who is leading the country. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that these people are going out there saying that, and then it's, and everybody's clapping and this and that or whatever. Really?
He said woman.
He said woman.
Yay.
Really? I mean, come on, man. And this is what I'm talking about. We've been bamboozled, because now anybody can say whatever the hell they want to say. It means absolutely nothing. And that's the thing, that now nobody, like, it. I mean, think about it. If you're going to do that, right, and you're going to start changing. So to me, in his mind, he thinks of that word as something completely different.
Right.
That's exactly what that means to me. And if that's the truth, then we are in big trouble, my man, because that means that the Supreme Court, that means that other laws that are out there, anything in the religion that, whether it be in the Catholic religion or in Judaism or Islam or whatever, it means that you are going to create a different narrative for each one of those things, because, hey, that's what you think it means. It's not going to be like, hey, you know what? We have the Constitution, and this is what, this is what it's all about. And no, we're just going to change every single different thing because you believe that amen means having something to do with men.
Right. He said, it wasn't that big a deal. I didn't mean for it to be that big a deal. Yes, you did.
Yeah, you did, my man, because that's why you said it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's why everybody was clapping. You were looking and you were waiting for people to clap and acknowledge that you were going to say some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
So it is a big deal in that sense. You know what I mean? Come on.
It is stupid. And yeah, we are in a very, very scary place. I'm scared for the control that the government has. I'm scared for the control that the social media companies have. I don't know. It's, when you look forward 4 years, I think we're going to be a very different country, very different world, because no one's really paying attention to the real problems that we have. They're all tied up with this bullshit Twitter shit.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, President Trump, he doesn't have Twitter anymore. Okay. That's like when people say, if you don't agree with me, unfriend me.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, I was it means nothing. But they make it mean I give so much importance to it. It's so
like okay, unfriend me or cancel me out. Meanwhile, you don't think I'm gonna get back into the site with a different name, different age, really?
But it's so dumb.
But they see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean that's just a.
But why do people do that? Why do people say, hey, if you disagree with me, or I just saw a friend. If you follow Trump or you're a Republican, then just unfriend me now. Are you like?
I know. I mean,
are you like Joan of Arc? Like, are you like? Are you the guy from Braveheart? What was whatever the Mel Gibson's name?
Yeah. What was
You're taking a stand? I mean, are you really taking a stand by saying that? Okay.
Oh,
are you a warrior? Are you a warrior because of that?
It's amazing to me what's what means so much to people, right? I mean, come on,
unfriend me now.
Unfriend me.
Okay. I don't even remember who you are, but okay.
I know. It's amazing, man. Again,
But
I don't know, man. It's just
here's the other thing, though. Here's the other thing that I think people need to realize too.
What's that?
Real quick, because look, we're almost at the end of the podcast, bro.
What? Nah, come on, we just started.
I know. You talk a lot.
We can't. No. Is it me?
No, but look, there was I don't know if you saw this news story. There was one of the protesters. Her daughter saw her get punched in the face on the news or something, and she had like a bloody face. So like the picture of the woman has been floating all over the place.
Okay.
Did you hear this story?
Yeah, I kind of heard it.
So the daughter, I guess, I think the daughter's like 18 or whatever. I guess she has like a problem with her mom.
Yeah.
So she said, "Oh, here, like
she
I think
that right?
she said essentially, I think the daughter wanted to go to a Black Lives Matter, like a Black Lives Matter protest.
Yeah.
And the mom said, no, it's dangerous. I don't want you to go. I don't want you to get hurt. So when she saw the picture, I think the daughter, and I'm paraphrasing, she essentially tweeted out or shared the picture of her mom publicly and said, "Oh, Mom, you remember when you said I can't go to Black Lives Matter riot? Like, are you okay? Is this you?" And showed the picture of her, and the thing got like retweeted all over the place. So she blasted her mom out into the social media world. I don't know what the effect of that is going to be on her mom's job, relationships, whatever. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, daughter, you wanted to prove a point to your mom, so you blasted her, and you're going to like affect her whole life. Why would you do that to your own family?
Exactly.
To impress who?
To the person that's been supporting you.
Yeah,
to
the person who gave you birth.
Yeah.
To the person, and you're having a hissy fit because she didn't want you to go out to a riot or whatever.
Exactly.
I don't care what riot, whoever.
I mean, because I'm sure that the mother did not blast her on social media and say, "Oh, look, this is my daughter thinking that she wants to go over here," right? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe she did. I don't know, but I'm assuming that she didn't. But now she turns the tables on her mother, but now blasts it to everybody. So something that became a personal matter between the two of them, all of a sudden now it's outside of the house, and now everybody has to know about it.
Why would you do that?
You know what I'm saying?
And people forget how important the family is.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me your social media followers are more important than your mom, that you have to embarrass and blast your mom like that? Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, and that's
the problem with social media stuff. It's ruining families and stuff, man.
Yeah, that's the reason why people should watch that social dilemma.
The social dilemma
on Netflix, because it's actually, the movie is from the eyes of the people that actually created that shit. You know what I'm saying? Or had portions of these particular platforms. Created some of these platforms, and so they're telling you. They're the ones. It was not like it's a third party. They're the ones that are telling you this shit is dangerous, man. And look what's happening. This is exactly what's happening, man.
Yep.
It's sad. It's really sad, man. I mean, ultimately for us, obviously, we work within, or with the tools that I guess they are provided to us, and we, we try to make do with whatever we can, right? Like, we're not out there. Again, we were saying, we're not out there protesting. We're not out there. I mean, I'm not going to tear nobody down. When you're down, you're down. I'm not going to be, tearing you up when you're down. And I'm just not, that's not me. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I got to talk from a perspective of truth. If I'm saying the wrong thing, at least I want somebody to tell me I'm saying the wrong things. But don't just come over here and tell me that I'm saying the wrong things. And meanwhile, you have nothing to share. You have nowhere to correct me. If you're just going to come up to me with some bullshit about like, oh, no, this, and that, whatever. And I know for a fact that you're just fucking repeating the same shit from somebody else. That shit actually reminds me of that Matt Damon movie. The one where he's like a genius. Where
Good Will Hunting?
Good Will Hunting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a part in that movie where they go into a bar in Harvard or by Harvard, outside of Harvard. And,
Harvard.
Huh? Harvard, right? Yeah, and so one of his friends is going up to these two girls, and he's trying to rap to them, trying to talk to them. And this one guy who happens to be a grad student at Harvard or whatever starts dogging him because of the way he's talking and the way he's saying it. And then Matt Damon, who's a genius, but he's also, a kid from the street, he blasts that kid and says, dude, all you're doing is repeating shit from a fucking book. Like, are you ever going to have thoughts of your own where you can actually comment and basically say, I mean, he goes, dude, I just basically showed you that. I read that same book and I just said the same shit that you just said.
Mm-hmm.
And I even finished your thought because you have no thoughts. It's just whatever you're reading from a book.
Right.
And so that's exactly what's happening today. People are just repeating what other people say, but they're not actually educating themselves, man. And until somebody can come to me and actually educate me on something that I believe that what I'm saying is correct, man. Because I do some research on this stuff, man. You know what I mean? And I don't believe that I'm smarter than anybody. I mean, I just don't. But I just like to be well informed, and I like to educate myself in regards to things. Listen, if somebody's doing something wrong, you got to know they're doing something wrong, whether they're on the right, they're the left, or whatever. I'm gonna jump in there and I'm gonna help people out. But don't come over here, man, and start with that nonsense that unfriend me, and if you don't think like I do, then you're I'm in the wrong place. What? Get the fuck out of here, man, with that nonsense, man.
Yep.
It's just it's amazing.
It is, but to your point, I think a lot of people do that. I love seeing like the social media rants from people, and we discuss this. I'm not even gonna get into it, but like you see people post all this stuff, and they're like, "Oh, the law of 1990." I'm just like, whatever, man. You just copy and pasting stuff. It's just like those people put those like long things, and then it says, "Oh, I copied this, cut and paste it," and then they paste it to their things too. Mm-hmm. I never do that stuff. I'm just like, oh, whatever, man.
The only thing that I couldn't paste is Buffalo Bills win their first playoff
Buffalo
game.
Bills.
Buffalo Bills, baby. Buffalo Bills.
So it's a good way to end the podcast because we're at the end of it. Fam, season 2, episode 1. Yeah. Thanks for hanging in there. I know this wasn't as fun as like our normal podcast because we actually, like we said, we wanted to just take a week off and still kind of enjoy the end of the year celebrations, and but we felt like we had to at least come and address this.
Yeah, we had to comment on this, man, because you know what? Because 1, everybody's talking about it. 2, because people are misinformed, and then 3, because we just want to basically show everybody that we don't need to take sides on it, from any particular point, just to understand and to know each other and to help each other out and just to kind of understand, hey, listen, let's make this stuff work. But it just seems like it's just getting out of hand. And I hope that everything works out. Listen, President Biden, or Vice President-elect Harris, I hope you guys open your eyes really and begin to really see the big picture. I know that the politics and the money and the pockets get bigger and all that stuff, but I only ask and implore that you guys, overlook that nonsense, man, and really look at what's going on out there, because it's not the picture that you keep painting for everybody else.
Well, I'm not even going to say any of that stuff because I know for a fact that they're not going to do that shit. But I hope
that's what I said. I implore and I hope. I don't know.
I hope the people wake up and vote locally for the right people and just respect each other. If someone has a different opinion, live and let live. And at the end of the day, just take care of your house, your own family, your own house, and everything will work itself out, I think. This is still the USA, still the greatest country in the world.
Absolutely.
Although we have fans in other countries and we love you. So we're not saying that other countries are bad, but you know what? Wherever you live, support the people that you live with, and if whatever your country is, support your country and just try to make it better day by day.
Yes.
All right, absolutely. Fans, thank you so much. Have a great week, and we will see you
next week.
Well, we won't see you. We'll talk to you next week with more fun and some more surprises in season 2 of the Out of the Cave podcast.
That's it.
Thanks, Captain.
Here we go. We're starting all over.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing your wisdom.
Yeah, right. You too.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.